Hey, rolling out. This is your host, Christal Jordan for Reality Check. And while we usually talk about relationships and drama, today we are talking about what happens when a relationship goes right and the family is together and the family has multiplied and multiplied and continues to multiply. So my guests for today are the parents at the core of doubling down with the Derricos. Please help me welcome Deon and Karen Derrico.
Ooh, with the audience. Ooh.
Yes, but it's just the parents. Because I literally, when I think of you guys, I think of the entire promo pictures with all the children. Welcome to Rolling Out, guys.
It is a pleasure
Yes.
being with you guys.
Thank you for having us.
I am excited. Karen, I have so many questions for you. Just as a mother, like what in the world? But before we get into this season, that's where already has started. I want to play the trailer for this season, and we can talk about all the many things and how you all managed to keep this brood all together. So I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer, and then we'll come back and talk.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
This season, I'm doubling down with the Derricos.
How many are in your group?
A lot.
Having 14 children, it is so exhausting, especially when you have multiples. Dawson, go upstairs.
So now that they're growing and becoming more active,
They're like Tasmanian devils around the house.
Don't be calling my baby no devils.
My apologies.
my babies. When I was growing up, we met at the skating rink.
Bam.
All right, Derrico, come on, let's get it.
Oh, at first it was funny, but now I think Derrico's going through a midlife crisis.
This isn't the 80s, Poppy. You're past your prime.
The triplets, they're ready to be potty trained.
Yes, they are.
Oh, give me some tissue. Ooh, I got it on you.
Don't touch the couch. Don't touch the couch.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
I cannot believe that our oldest children are already thinking about dating.
They're coming. My heart's just beating, my hands are like shaking. I think this will be true love.
I am just so, I can't calm down.
Karen has endured a lot, and to see that she's still struggling, it is heartbreaking. I am concerned. So I do wish you would at least talk to a therapist.
Everyone knows how much I love children.
How much do you think you can handle before something starts to go?
When we go to South Carolina, the first thing we're looking for in a new house is a bigger kitchen.
We're going to Myrtle Beach.
We in mommy's neck of the woods now.
All of this could be ours.
Are we really moving here?
No.
Moving to South Carolina is gonna be a hard sell
What's that?
That's pig feet.
Ew.
because it is hard to take city people
I think this is broke.
into the country.
Now
I'm
that
not
right
moving.
there. No, listen.
Never.
I'm torn between the two top women in my life, and I'm in the hot seat.
I don't have the voice to argue.
Mom.
And I'm supposed to pamper her, forget it.
Gigi's a part of all of us, so I don't want to leave her behind and something happens and we're not there.
Oh,
What's wrong?
she was actually doing better. I don't understand this.
Gigi is that missing piece. She's that glue, and I don't want to.
Oh my goodness. Okay, first of all, you all are on a spectrum. You got potty training happening and dating. I'm thinking like, how do you potty train multiple children? And then I'm like, oh, how do you prepare for multiple children to be ready to date? Like, let's start with the potty training.
Well, the potty training is my department. I'm used to that.
Okay. Oh, really?
It's that dating. Yes.
Yeah, the rule it kind of fell into this really great role of, I'm breastfeeding, he's breastfeeding,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of happened that way at the time because I was a flight attendant.
Yeah.
When we had Darian, and so I would just be pumping so much while I'm away, and because I was gone so much, he would just started the potty training. So then child number 2 came. I thought, I think
You
it's
got it. You're good at this. This should be your job, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's for sure.
Now, let me ask you guys, when you met and when you fell in love, I love talking about couples' love stories. Did you all have any idea that you wanted to have this big of a family? Is that something you guys discussed? How did this happen?
Yes, we did discuss it. We didn't know that we would have a traffic jam of babies. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
But we did discuss, I openly asked her how many children she wanted. How many children did she want? And I never would tell a woman when I was dating her how many I wanted. I would always ask how many they wanted because I wanted a real, true answer. And she was the very first one who responded the way she did. And she responded and said that she wanted as many as God will bless her with.
Wow. What was your number? What was your number, Deon?
My number was right around 7, 8-ish, which is a nice large
So
family.
I exceeded his expectations.
You both exceeded probably both of you all's expectations.
You exceed their expectations.
No, she really did though. That was like her response was the golden was the golden answer that I didn't even know. You ever go look for an item, Christal, or dress or something, and you know you want something different, but you don't know what exactly you want. But the moment you see it, you're like, "That's it." Well,
I have.
Yeah.
With one or two things, I can't think of 14 of anything that I could want. But I think that what is interesting is, back in our, a few generations ago, like my grandmother had 9 brothers and sisters, but it's like, at this point in time, you see people really, families are a lot smaller, especially, especially here. So what is the response? Like, what are your children? How do they interact with other kids that have very different, family dynamics? I can't think of anyone that I know personally with more than like 4 kids now. So how do the kids kind of, how do they deal with having so many siblings when most people, it's just not what most people are doing right now?
Well, this is all they know. All they know is to have, an exceptionally amount of siblings. My oldest Darian, she told me the other day that one of her friends like is in love with our family and love to hang out with us. And I said, really? She said, yeah, because she's the only child. And she's like, I wish I had, a brother. She's Darian's age. So she all, you hear those type stories of them having friends saying, I wish I had, maybe 2 more siblings or something like that. So for me, what I hear a lot is their friends saying they wish they had more. But without children, this is all that they know. All they know.
And I'm sure you have been on one of those big bad binge diets like most of us at some point in your life. And you know how you get on that diet and you cheat and you come off and you just cannot get enough ice cream. You can't get enough chocolate. You can't get enough of that good sweet love. Well, honestly, that's the best parable I can give for our household. I mean, the amount of love that we have is so over the top that I just honestly, I constantly want it. And I feel like our children do as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a constant need and desire for it. So answering your question, how do they feel? They love it. I mean, we live everything you guys see on television is who we are. It's how we are. We enjoy being that way. We're wrestling, we're playing, we're doing little play games. And I just can't get enough of it. That's the honest God's truth.
That is beautiful. It does seem, the reason I like the show so much is because, it takes you back to a place when family was the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's what comes across is that even watching the clip of your son, really like the way he's talking about his Gigi, it's just touching because you can tell that they really, there's a sense of family and community within the family that so many people don't have. Can you guys talk about the relationships and how is that something that you've nurtured with them to they understand how important different members of the family, because I'm sure it takes a village to raise 14.
And you know what? I love the fact you said that. You're right. It does take a village, but that village has to be on the same page.
Right.
I mean, that's just a fact. That entire village has to have the same commonality in thinking. And so that's what we have. And we definitely, just like you just said, we definitely sow that back into them. Love, respect, honor, hierarchy, control, understanding that everything has a purpose and a place. I often reference to them, and we often reference to them, the Lion King scene where the father is telling the son, you know, this whole world is ours, but we have to respect it. We got to be humble. And so that's what we teach them, is just the core value of family, morals, values, being humble, being appreciative, saying thank you, understanding that Poppy and Mommy, you know, we made sacrifices for them because of the lifestyle that we want to provide them, and that they owe sacrifices back to us.
Right.
And that's a lot of times I think is not conveyed to children. It's just automatically like assumed that they'll get it. No, we have to go deeper than that, and we see that in our society today. So we're just raising them to be compassionate,
loving, understanding, empathetic.
Yeah, I saw today I was watching earlier the reel, and they were saying that studies are showing that what's missing today is empathy. And I think because we don't have, you know, family is where that begins. I want to ask you, Karen, because I know as a mom myself, not of two, that feels like a lot sometimes. But I have two, and I have 4 bonus children, and that feels like a lot. I cannot imagine. But one of the things, you know, as a parent, especially a lot of times as a mother looking at things, siblings sometimes feel they're all at different places, right? So how do you find, how have you been able to balance making sure each child feels validated and feels like they have something that's special to them, that they feel like is theirs, and they're not intimidated or maybe a little bit, I don't want to say jealous, but maybe sometimes it could be intimidating if your sibling is doing something else. Like, how do you find a way to make sure each one feels special and knows that they have their own special relationship with you in spite of the family, like, you know, so they all feel that special mommy and daddy touch?
Well, one of the things that we do is, you know, all of them, we let them know that although your family and most of them are part of a multiple group, they're all individuals. So just because one may want to be a gymnast, you know, as opposed to being focused on this particular sibling of yours, find your talent. We help them find their talent, find their gift. And each and every one of them, we do a great job, I think, of pointing that out to them. We really let them know, you know, one, you're great at, you know, always encouraging and uplifting the other, and you're great at this. We constantly call that out to them, because I think I use my upbringing as an example. I think that my mom was so focused on making sure I did not bring a baby in the house that, and I get it. She's a single mom. I get it. Single mom.
Little did she know.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly.
Yeah, little did she know. You said that right. But I think that you have to know how to balance it out. You know, just like how, you know, we have to stay on them and make sure they do the right thing. We have to encourage them, nurture them, help them seek those things. When I see they have a talent with something, I am online Googling. How do we enhance that? That's just, you know, some of the things. And we talk to them and we let them know you don't ever have to search for love anywhere else outside of this house. You have it here. And we teach them about rejection. Rejection is a part of life. I need you to understand this right now, because when you get older, it's going to happen and you're going to see like it's just you. So we talk to them. And when something doesn't go right, like say something happens and I don't know, when I'm trying out for a team and they didn't make it, we rally around them and show them support, because we're teaching them that as you get older and for whatever the reason is, something happens, you're going to know to pick up that phone and say, I got to call my siblings. I got to call my brother. I got to call this person and get that support. Always support. You never search outside of your siblings for that, because you got it right here. So that's how we just kind of make it more individual for them and just constantly give them that nurturing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It feels like the rest of us need to have, maybe we should be thinking about having bigger families, because that's got to build a great foundation when you know you have so much support there. I know we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you guys both a very important question, because a lot of the focus obviously as parents is always on the children. But it was great to see both you all having conversations about mental health. Deon, you were very concerned about making sure that Karen, you know, took care of herself and got that self-care. Can you all talk about what it takes to balance and make sure that your self-care and your mental health is okay as the parent, so that you are able to feed into them and to teach them all the things that you do? But, that can be exhausting and draining, for a parent with any amount of children. So can you talk a little bit about what you all have learned and what you could share maybe with other parents that may be struggling with that?
Is, again, some of the things that she just said and that I said, it's having that community. Yeah, we are a community within this household. So our children get a chance to watch how she and I deal with challenges. They get a chance to watch how she and I talk things out, how she and I play as friends. We're literally, she and I are literally friends. Right. Sometimes you would think we were children. That's how much we play and laugh. But what it's also teaching our children, we're mirroring back to them how they're supposed to be, but also that intertwines with both mine and her, our mental health. We have a good outlet within each other, so of course you'll see in some of the episodes that she's going to be struggling with some things that I don't even have the answers for, but you're going to also see how those challenges and obstacles will overcome. She'll overcome them because, of course, me being that friend, not just her husband, but I'm being that friend. I'm telling her as a friend, like, baby, I think we need to now do, X, Y, and Z. Right. And of course, she knows she had that in me and I have that with her. And so we're each other's outlet. And that's really how it needs to be, how it should be. And that's how mental health is we're able to keep a handle on it. Yes. But it also makes us very cognizant because, you and I both know that there's a lot of people that don't have, the other spouse or they're single parents, or maybe a single person living in a house by themselves, and they don't have the same outlet that she and I have. So we hope that a lot of our viewers and fans will glean from our show about just being together. That's why we as humans are here together in this world. We really need each other. We just can't do it by ourselves.
Well, I want to quickly add, I know we're out of time, so I just want to quickly add, I learned through mine, Christal, that I personally was talking to the wrong people. And I think that sometimes in our life, we have this thing where that's my best friend, that's my mom, that's my sister, that's my cousin. They'll never tell us wrong. But not so much they're telling you wrong. It's just that sometimes you need to be with someone who's licensed, who's trained to give you that support, and to not feel like if you go and talk to someone that you're less than, or that you are greater than that problem. I want people to know. So you need to go and seek that help for that. There's nothing on this earth that you're dealing with that you should feel like you just can't ever go and talk to someone about.
Yeah.
Well, that is beautiful. If you guys can let people know where they can check out this season of Doubling Down with the Derricos, let people know when and where to find you all.
Doubling Down with the Derricos every single Tuesday on Discovery Plus. You can stream us at Discovery Plus or watch us on TLC at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Doubling Down with the Derricos.
I love it. Well, you guys have to come back. You have to come back at the end of the season so we can talk again, and we can talk for a little bit longer.
We would love that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much. We're definitely going to be tuning in on TLC and Discovery Plus. Thank you so much to Deon and Karen, and we look forward to seeing all the babies.
Thank you, rolling out. Thank you, Christal. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
thank you. You guys have a great one.
All right. You too now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, make sure that you all check out Doubling Down with the Derricos. I think that's it feels like a blast from the past. Like that's usually what most of our grandparents had, bigger families, and family was key. Family was everything. And I think right now it's just great to see. It's refreshing to see that on television with so many other things that we have going on, seeing something that's just core family and love and support. For me, it's great. It's great. I hope you all enjoyed that. We'll definitely have to have them come back later in the season to talk about some of the things that they worked through and maybe hear more about how they were able to do that. Well, thank you all for tuning in. As always, I will be right back here next Monday for another reality check right here on Rolling Out. This has been your host, Christal Jordan, and I will see you all next time.